Hey, Stacey David here with Tales of a Gearhead podcast. This podcast is about all things automotive from any time, any place, and beyond. All right, let's get to it. Well, hey everybody, we got a great little surprise here for you today. I've got my buddies Kyle Fischer from Hot Shot Secret and Johnny Gilbert from Stainless Diesel that dropped by the shop today. If you don't know what Johnny does, he drag races a, wait for it, 63 Corvette with a Cummins Diesel in it. Yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. And of course, we all know Kyle. He's been on the show several times. So guys, welcome to the podcast. Let's talk about this Corvette, diesel-powered Corvette.
No, for sure.
What possessed you to do that, man?
I love to be different. Some of it's a mixture of surprise and dismay.
Yeah.
It just depends on what side of the fence they fall on.
As Kyle laughs over here.
Yeah.
You're used to that, man. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you have a race coming up in Bowling Green this weekend.
Yep.
So what are you hoping to do? What race is it, and what kind of times you're looking to run?
So this is part of our Hot Shot Secret Outlaw Diesel Super Series.
Yeah.
So this is a points race for us coming up there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We haven't been there in a number of years with the series.
It's a good track.
It's a beautiful facility,
It's a good
just
track,
a great place. I'm really excited to be back in Bowling Green.
Yeah. Kyle, tell us about this series. How does somebody get involved in it? What is it? How do they see it?
It is such a great series. It's called the Outlaw Diesel Super Series. Hot Shot Secret is the title sponsor of it. And now, what I love most about it is it's a family. And everybody out there is going to do what they can to help the next guy. Now, Johnny here is running this beautiful Pro Mod.
Yeah.
In ridiculous fast speeds and everything.
Yeah.
We start with an ET class, which is just a bracket class that the guy can take his daily drive truck. And we see it all the time. Spectators in the crowd.
They just get an itch. They want to come down and do
Go
it.
grab the truck and go put it on the track.
Dad's truck.
It starts
Buddy,
there
I'm
and then
taking
it
my
gets up
dad's
to
truck.
this. You know, I mean, you catch the bug and you got to watch out.
This part of the thing too, the diesels are so tough, you know, you're not really going to tear it up probably if you take your daily driver down there.
And if you remember his origin story, it started off when his race car broke down.
Yeah.
And he was in a points series, so he grabbed the old thing that was towing it and put it on the track.
So is there a cost involved with it? Say if a guy is hearing this and he wants to take his truck down there or whatever, how does he get involved? Does he call somebody? Does he just show up at the track?
You literally can just show up. Outlaw Diesel Super Series, you can find it on the internet, on social media to check our schedule. I think there's about 6 races a year now. And we travel pretty much up Midwest, East Coast. And again, there's classes from ET, 770, 670, 590 into the pro guys. So there's something for everybody there.
And each one of those classes would have different safety regulations, different criteria.
And if I'm not mistaken, Johnny, from our ET class, a stock truck meets all requirements.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
awesome,
for what they run, yeah.
Just come out and just rock.
Well, it's great to see, like, you know, an entry-level guy can just bring your tow truck out and just have fun.
Yeah.
You know, just you don't have to get crazy to have fun.
Yeah.
At one point in time, I used to race the ET bracket, and look at me now.
Oh yeah.
And that's why Hot Shot Secret sponsored this series too, because we've got products for the everyday guy up to the pro mods. So it kind of fills the whole field for us.
And you guys are crazy anyway. I mean, you like crazy stuff.
We do.
You do. I mean, you got all kinds of stuff going on. I think it's really, really cool. Now listen, Johnny, I heard you're into guitars. So are you a guitar player?
I play a little bit, yeah.
Okay. So what's your main guitar?
Dean 88.
Dean 88.
Yep. So it's kind of like that little, looks like a Strat, I guess.
Yeah.
Body style.
So what kind of music do you like? What do you like to play?
Like old, anything from blues to like big hair band stuff.
Okay. So when you say blues, you're talking like Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff?
Yeah, Stevie Ray, John Lang.
Yeah.
And, stuff
How
like
about you, Kyle? You a guitar player?
I'm not, but I'm ready for the concert to start. Let's bust them out. I can bang on the drums for you.
Yeah. Are you a drummer?
No,
Be careful
no,
what you
no,
say,
no,
man.
no.
We'll put you to work.
No. Let's not get this band back together.
Well, that's cool. So it's just something you do just for fun? Do you play at church? Do you play, or?
No, well,
okay.
I'll date myself here. So I'm 52 this year.
Yeah.
So when I was like that 18, 19-year-old kind of deal, you had like late 80s, early 90s kind of rock band.
Yeah.
Anything from, Metallica or, Poison.
Oh yeah.
Warrant,
all
all
the
those
metal
old
stuff,
metal
absolutely.
bands, big hair band stuff, whatever you want to call them. That was the influence on us. So I got into playing some clubs. So back in the day, for about 6 or 8 years, so I played in clubs, this cover band stuff. Just had
Isn't
fun.
it amazing that there's no rock like that anymore?
So it's kind of faded out, but I think if there's honey holes you can find
Oh, yeah.
of a lot of
It's
that
having a
music
resurgence.
still. And it's pretty impressive because PRI every year, it's a big place that everybody gets together with that racing industry. And right downtown, some of the best rock bands I've ever seen in that town. Yeah. It's just wild to see it. So there's pockets of some of that resurgence.
Oh yeah. Speaking of growing up, Kyle, what was your first car? What was your first cool car that you had?
What I thought was cool, and I don't, you guys might know what this is. Most people don't. I had I think it was a 1987 Ford EXP.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what EXP is?
Yeah. Kind of looked like that X19 Fiat.
Yeah, kind of like an Escort and a Mustang kind of made a strange baby somehow, a little hatchback, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I called it red, but it was more of an orangish, weird Ford red at the time, so could have been a little sun faded too.
How about you, Johnny? What was your first car?
So my first car, which I wouldn't say it was so cool, but I bought it with my own money, so that was impressive for me at the time. A 1977 Toyota Celica 5-speed.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little
That's a pretty cool car.
It was kind of like that faded gray stuff with paint peeling off of it, but it was a good time. Yeah. But my coolest car was my next one that I thought back in the day. So high school, 1976 Camaro, 350. It was just the big tires and the old air shocks. The old school wing on it, and it was just awesome.
Well, you've had a million. What was your first?
My first was a 1930 Model A coupe.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, I had to do the American Graffiti car.
Nice.
And you couldn't get a 32. That's what I started with. Wow. And it was just as rotten and crappy as the car in the movie, man. It was a piece of junk. It was a car that everybody had butchered on in town, all of the wannabe hot rodders. Yep. I found that out later because there was a guy in town whose name was T. Willie, and all he did was T-buckets. And I went over to his place to get some parts. He goes, yeah, I know this car. And I'm like, is that good or bad? He goes, Johnny had it, Bobby had it, and Billy had it, and they did this. And he said old frame's crooked and everything. I'm like, well, I like it. It was cool,
Heck yeah.
So your first truck, what was your first truck?
My first, well, if we count it as a truck, because I'm allowed to enter it in truck classes, is my fun car. It's a Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT with a blower.
Nice.
So it's a truck, SUV, soccer mom van.
So you've mostly been a car guy most of your life.
Yeah. Yep. And that's when I had my midlife crisis. I've been doing marketing and sales forever. Yeah. I had my what I call my midlife crisis, and said, I need to find a career that crosses my passion. Yeah. And that's why Hot Shot Secret was such a great find, in a local company to me in Ohio, with a passion for automotive. So I get to do my marketing and sales stuff with passion now, So it's
on something you love.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, I got a question for both of you guys. If you could give me the top 5 things when somebody says, describe a hot rod, give me the top 5 things that vehicle has to have. Now, this is a personal thing, so I want, because everybody's from different parts of the country, everybody grew up with different sorts of cars. I'll go through stuff like, okay, what kind of car would it be, Johnny?
So I'm kind of primarily like a Chevy guy, but I can definitely appreciate the Mustangs because I've had one. The Mopar stuff is amazing, like the early 70s stuff. To me, like the muscle car era is like hot rods, but like, the 40s, the 50s, 55 Chevys are just beautiful.
Now this is a hot rod to you.
But to me, for me personally, I like anything in that early 70s muscle car era. Like that's straight hot rod. But I will say that the new stuff that's out today, like you're talking, the Hellcat Red Eyes and these crazy S700 Mustangs and how fast they are with AC and can go around a curve and can go 10 seconds or better in a quarter mile. That is a true modern day hot rod for me.
Okay, sound.
Yeah, definitely aggressive.
What sound should it have? Because a little turbo V6 has a certain sound to it, but is it a hot rod sound to you?
I love my turbos, but they do tone down the sound of an engine. So an NA like big block Chevy has just got it going on. Okay. Yeah, that's the sound for me.
And if it's got a little blower whine, that's even better?
Blower whine makes it even better because it's like, and again, I'm a turbo guy, but that blower, it doesn't block the exhaust tone coming out of it. Yeah. And you get that crazy, whistle, and it's just, it's a match made in heaven.
Okay, now here's the next question. If you could have any car or truck, what would it be?
I would definitely say 70 Chevelle, with that.
70 Chevelle over anything?
Yeah, just because it's got the unique 2 headlights. The taillights are unique to that
Do you
year.
have a 70 Chevette?
It's 71.
Oh, okay.
So I've
No
always-
one's a
I was-
70. He's
I was
gotta have
one
a
of the
matching
70.
pair.
So the headlights, you get the dual headlights to the single, and then the factory, like a LS6, 4-speed with the little flipper in the hood.
Oh,
All
yeah?
that,
Oh,
just beautiful, neat engineering for the day. That would be mine.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Definitely 4-speed.
All great choices. I tell you what, my favorite would probably be a Lamborghini Miura.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I would not have
That's
guessed that.
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I've being that I'm on the Corvette kick here lately.
Yeah.
It's like I've been eyeballing the C8s, and I have a Hellcat Red Eye.
The
It's
C8s are cool.
It's just a great with the
Yeah.
blowers and everything. So I love that thing. But if I had another one to do Corvette wise,
Yeah.
there's this crazy. You take a C6 Corvette, so LS3 base engine,
Yeah.
and then there's a guy in Florida that does these crazy one-off kits, crazy body, and they had one at Seaman. That's where I first seen it. Just a YouTube video. I just found
A
it.
few
like,
years ago?
Yeah, it's been a few years ago.
I saw the
Probably
car.
2000 maybe.
Yeah.
It was crazy looking how the big wheels and the thing was stretched out, and it did not look like a Corvette, but
Yeah.
it kind of had that supercar kind of look to it.
Yeah.
Turbos in the back, I think, or at least piping to simulate that.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a neat little project, I think.
Anyway, guys, thanks for dropping by. We're looking forward to having you back. You're always welcome to drop by when you're in town.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
All
Been
right.
a great time.
Stacey.
A successful automotive project takes planning and organization. But instead of using an old tablet or notebook, there's the Gears Deluxe Project Planning Book. This was designed to help you lay out a project, the parts, the tools, costs, and keep it organized with colored tabs, a pouch for receipts, and even a place to attach photos. If you decide to sell the vehicle, it serves as a complete history of what's been done. If you have a project or plan on starting one, the Gears Project Planning Book is the best way to lay it out and make it happen.
Okay, the next question comes from Matt, and he says, "Hello, I'm having an install issue." He said, "I bought a set of ceramic headers for a 68 Mustang with a Mustang 2 suspension from CJ Pony Parts. And when I bolt up the driver's side, it completely covers the block mount for the Z-bar, and there is no way to install the adjustable rod. Any suggestions or ideas would be greatly appreciated." All right, Matt, not an uncommon problem, actually. Now, for the rest of you guys that aren't quite sure what we're talking about, Matt, obviously has his motor in his Mustang. I assume it's just a small block. And he's got this set of ceramic headers, nice set of headers, and it's going right through the place where the Z-bar goes, where that actuates the clutch. So obviously he's got a stick in this Mustang. Hats off to you, Matt, for keeping a stick in it. Love that. There is the issue, though. There used to be, years ago, when you would buy a set of headers, they would specify if this is for an automatic or a stick car. Obviously, they're not doing that anymore because there's so few people that are putting sticks in. They're just sending you the headers one size fits all. So you got a problem there. Basically, you can send the headers back and try to get some that will fit for a stick, or you can get rid of your manual clutch linkage and upgrade to like a Hydromax hydraulic throwout bearing from somebody like American Powertrain. You probably don't want to go in there because if you pull that out, you might as well replace the clutch while you're in there. You probably didn't want to pull the transmission when you were trying to put on a set of headers. That's where the surprises and the frustration comes in these kind of projects. Now, there is a set of headers that I would recommend. The problem is with these 4-into-1, long tube headers, especially on the Mustangs, they're tight. And the tri-Y headers are usually made to fit. Now, the tri-Ys, they come down into 2 pipes instead of 4-into-1. So the 4 go into 2, and then the 2 go on down. So what I would suggest is that you get back in touch with CJ Pony Parts and see if you can swap those headers for a set of tri-Ys or something that will clear the linkage for a stick. And they shouldn't have any problem doing it. CJ's is a good place. The only drawback is if you beat those headers up, you say they're ceramic coated. you've probably dinged them around a little bit trying to put them up in there. So hopefully you haven't scarred them up too much, because that's when they wouldn't take them back. So hopefully you can send them back, get the right headers. That's your easiest fix. Okay, I got a really cool letter here from Mike. And Mike is like, hey, Stacey, I was listening to your podcast and found out that you really liked P-40s, the World War II airplane, Flying Tiger. Yes, I do, man. I built many, many models of those. He said, I have attached a picture of my dad flying a P-40 in 1987. Oh, this is awesome. Okay. He said, this is a little backstory on my dad. He said he retired from the Air Force in 1975, and he started as a tail gunner in a B-29 over Korea. Oh my gosh, what a great history. And he says, now after he retired, he took the classes to become a pilot. And with him working on World War II airplanes came the ability to fly them. He's even owned a couple of T-6 Texans. Oh my gosh, so he gets to fly these things as he's working on. What a great job. They go out, I'm going to take the P-40 out today. I'll take the P-51 Mustang tomorrow just to make sure it's running right. That's awesome, man. I'm envious. I love that P-40. I tell you what, I have seen guys try to put that shark mouth on all kinds of other airplanes all through the years, and the one that fits like a glove is the P-40 Warhawk. It's just, the plane with that face on it is just amazing. Whoever designed that and originally did that was probably Chenault there with the Flying Tigers. Man, brilliant, iconic. He said his dad helped him discover cars, and he said one of the best things he ever told him was, I would rather see you spending money on your Mustang than be out partying every night, not have anything to show for it. Boy, that sounds familiar. That sounds like some of the stuff my dad told me. I'm sure a lot of us heard that kind of stuff. Now, he said, ironically, at the time, Mike said he was in the Navy modifying a 67 Mustang GTA at the base hobby shop in the late 70s. That's awesome. So you were not only in the Navy, but you were using their body shop to get the work done on your car. You are a smart guy, man. Man, Mike, thank you for the story. Thank you for the pictures. I'm glad you're listening to the podcast. Hopefully one of these days I'll get to do a full story on the P-40 Warhawk. I've done some stuff with the Corsair, done some stuff with the P-51 Mustang, done some stuff with the P-38 Lightning, and of course the B-17 Memphis Belle. But I've never had a chance to spend some time with the P-40. And that was the first one that I loved. So you will see that one of these days I will get to sit in the cockpit of one of those things. So thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. All right, that's our show for today, which means you need to get out there and start working on something. Spend some time turning wrenches. You'll love it. Also, make sure to check out our website, staceydavid.com. We got all kinds of new products, some great stuff there you're going to love. Also, make sure you check out our social media. That's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all at Official Stacey David. Our social media is where you're going to find all the bonus content, the giveaways, the contests, the trivia. We even have extra viewer projects that we show everybody to focus on what you're working on. YouTube is where you're going to be able to find all of our episodes of Gears, past, present, and future. I know a lot of you guys ask about that. That's where you can see them. All right, that's all we got. We'll see you next time.